On January 18th, 2016, the city of Cleveland was ready for revenge. The Cavaliers had one thing circled on their calendar: a home matchup against the team that took everything from them just 7 months earlier. The Golden State Warriors. The same Warriors who had celebrated their first championship in 40 years. The same team that turned a franchise built around one man, LeBron James, into a cautionary tale of what happens when basketball's greatest player meets basketball's greatest system. And now, they were back in town. The arena buzzed with energy. Quicken Loans. Arena was packed with fans expecting payback. LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love were finally healthy and ready to prove that the Warriors' title wasn't legitimate, that it was only because the Cavs weren't at full strength in the finals. On the other side, Stephen Curry, the reigning MVP, walked into the building with that effortless swagger, that confident grin that said he already knew what was about to happen. From the opening tip, it was clear this wasn't just a regular season game. This was a statement game. Golden State had been unstoppable all year, off to a record-breaking start, chasing history with their eyes on 73 wins. But this one meant more. It was personal. Curry and the Warriors wanted to show the world, and especially Cleveland, that their championship wasn't a fluke. And right from the start, the message was loud and clear. The Warriors came out firing. Draymond Green was orchestrating the offense like a point forward. Klay Thompson was slicing through defenders. And Curry, he was in another dimension. His movements were electric, weaving through defenders, launching threes from impossible angles, smiling after every dagger. Midway through the first quarter, Curry sized up LeBron near the top of the key. The crowd roared, sensing the duel they'd been waiting for. LeBron, the king of power and dominance, versus Curry, the master of finesse and precision. Curry took a single dribble to his right, then a quick crossover to his left. LeBron lunged, and before he could recover, Curry pulled up. Splash. Nothing but net. The crowd gasped, and the Warriors' bench erupted. It was just the beginning. By halftime, the Warriors were up big, and Cleveland looked stunned. Golden State had put up 70 points in the first half. 70. Every time the Cavs tried to make a run, Curry silenced them with another deep three. Every dribble, every spin, every release felt effortless. He wasn't just scoring, he was toying with them. Meanwhile, LeBron looked frustrated. His drives were being met with resistance. Andre Iguodala, the Finals MVP from the year before, was once again in his face, forcing tough shots. Kyrie was struggling to find rhythm, and Kevin Love was invisible. It was déjà vu. Cleveland reliving the nightmare of last June. By the third quarter, the game was no longer a contest. It was a showcase. Curry was out there performing for the fans, except these weren't his fans. Every shot he hit felt like a dagger into the heart of Cleveland. Step backs, crossovers, transition threes. It was an absolute clinic. And what made it worse for Cleveland was how easy he made it look. Curry finished with 35 points in just 28 minutes, 7 three-pointers. He didn't even need to play the fourth quarter. The final score, 132-98. A complete annihilation in LeBron's house. It wasn't just the numbers, it was the dominance, the swagger, the message. The Warriors weren't just beating the Cavs, they were embarrassing them. Fans started leaving early, the once loud arena now filled with silence and disbelief. After the game, Curry walked out with a grin and dropped one of the coldest quotes of his career. When asked about returning to Cleveland, he said, "I hope the locker room still smells like champagne." A direct reminder of the celebration that had taken place there just months earlier, when the Warriors had won the NBA championship on that very floor. It wasn't arrogance, it was confidence, the kind that comes from knowing you're at the peak of your power. That night symbolized the shift in the NBA. LeBron had long been the face of dominance, the immovable force, the king who ruled every court he stepped on. But that night in Cleveland, he was dethroned, at least for a moment. Curry and the Warriors represented something new: speed, precision, teamwork, joy. It was basketball evolution in real time. The game wasn't just a blowout, it was a cultural moment. the Warriors played a brand of basketball that was redefining the league. Gone were the days when power ruled the court. This was the age of shooting, spacing, and movement. And Curry was its fearless leader. Every shot he took that night felt like a statement that the future belonged to the Warriors. LeBron, for all his greatness, couldn't stop it. Cleveland was supposed to be the revenge team, finally healthy and ready to even the score. But instead, they were humbled on their own floor. It wasn't just that the Warriors were better. It was that they were smarter, faster, and hungrier. Analysts called it one of the most humiliating losses of LeBron's career.
We were in Oakland. We went to their practice facility, the Golden State Warriors, and it was the one, Thompson had started talking about how they were better than the Showtime Lakers. So we're going over the Bay Bridge, and that commentary is just still picking up. It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on all these social platforms.
Yep.
Oh, sports radio, everything. And that's when Bron just said, he looked around and goes, you know what, guys? It's written. We're going to win tomorrow night. We're going to have a huge game. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to the last few minutes. We're not losing at home. Game 7, anything can happen. That's how it played out.
A 34-point defeat at home on national television. And to make matters worse, it came from the one man who had stolen his spotlight, Stephen Curry. For Curry, it was a defining moment in his MVP campaign. It wasn't just about stats, it was about dominance. He made the Cavaliers look like they didn't belong on the same floor. The handles, the range, the creativity, everything was clicking. It was basketball artistry, and LeBron was just another canvas. The aftermath of that game sent waves across the league. The Warriors were now officially the villains. Too good, too confident, too unbothered. And Cleveland knew they had to respond. That loss stung so deep, it became the fuel that would drive them months later in the 2016 finals. But on that cold January night, there was no stopping Golden State. They played like a machine, and at the center of it all was Curry, smiling, dancing, and draining shots that no one else on earth would dare to take. Every dribble was poetry, every three-pointer a declaration of dominance. What made that game so memorable wasn't just the scoreboard, it was the symbolism. The Warriors walked into Cleveland, the same city that had mocked them for getting lucky, and proved that luck had nothing to do with it. They were champions for a reason. For LeBron, it was a reminder that even the king could bleed. For Curry, it was confirmation that he had arrived, not just as a star, but as the face of a revolution. He had changed basketball, and that night was the exclamation point. When the final buzzer sounded, the Warriors bench celebrated quietly. No over-the-top celebrations, no taunting, because they didn't need to. The score said it all, 132-98. A 34-point message to the entire NBA. The Warriors were still the team to beat. That game is still remembered as one of the most dominant performances in the Steph Curry era. Not just because of the numbers, but because of what it represented. It was the night the Warriors reminded everyone, especially LeBron, that the throne wasn't up for grabs just yet. And while the Cavs would eventually get their revenge in the finals months later, that doesn't erase what happened on January 18th, 2016. Because on that night, in that building, Stephen Curry didn't just win, he took over. He danced on defenders, drained threes in LeBron's face, and turned a revenge game into a humiliation. It was more than basketball. It was art, it was dominance, and it was a reminder that sometimes greatness doesn't roar. It smiles, it laughs, and it leaves you staring at the scoreboard, wondering what just happened. That was the day Stephen Curry shut down LeBron in Cleveland. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because more legendary NBA stories are coming your way. This is one you'll never forget, the night the king was humbled by the chef.